If you thrust yourself onto an alien surface, facing real threats documented by probes like Venera and Galileo, atmospheres that could flatten steel, temperatures hot enough to melt metal, and radiation doses that shred DNA in minutes. This is the core strength of the material. It transforms abstract data from NASA missions and astronomical research into vivid, edge-of-your-seat narratives that not only educate, but also underscore the immense challenges and wonders of cosmic discovery, leaving readers with a profound appreciation for humanity's place in the universe. From the scorching inferno of Venus, the story erupts with unrelenting drama, invoking the legendary endurance of the Soviet Venera 13 probe in 1982, which defied a landscape of sulfuric acid storms and submarine-crushing pressures for an agonizing 127 minutes. But now it's you, teleported unprotected onto this volcanic nightmare. Death strikes like a thunderbolt. The atmosphere's colossal weight, equivalent to 3,000 feet underwater, pulverizes your body in an instant. Bones shattering, organs imploding in a symphony of destruction. Yet, the narrative doesn't stop at instant annihilation. It equips you with a fortress of a spacesuit, forged from titanium armor and silicon carbide shields, designed to mock Venus's 470 degrees Celsius fury. You stagger through a suffocating yellow-orange haze, where lead melts like butter and acid rains claw at your defenses. Confidence surges as you traverse barren volcanic plains, but betrayal lurks. The cooling system falters. Heat invades like a predator, inducing a swift, delirious heat stroke. In 20 heart-pounding minutes, your sanctuary cracks under the onslaught, a testament to Venus's unchallenged reign as the solar system's hottest hell. This masterful escalation of peril propels the tale forward, turning each planetary stop into a crescendo of doom. Mercury's dual-faced savagery splits the scene. The dark side's bone-chilling minus 173 degrees Celsius grip seizes you first. A frozen void echoing the moon's cratered desolation under starlit shadows. But dare to linger, and the sun rises like a vengeful deity, 3 times larger, blazing with unfiltered white fury. Radiation assaults like invisible arrows, piercing your anti-radiation armor, while temperatures rocket to 427 degrees Celsius, frying electronics and boiling your insides. 15 minutes of desperate struggle culminate in collapse, a charred husk on a sun-blasted wasteland, underscoring the planet's wild thermal swings without an atmospheric shield. Mars offers a fleeting illusion of mercy, landing you amid rusty deserts under an orange sky, where equatorial summers tease 20 degrees Celsius warmth before nights plunge to minus 70 degrees Celsius oblivion. Gravity's gentle pull, 2.5 times lighter than Earth's, lets you bound like a superhero. But lurking threats build tension. Radiation, 20 times Earth's norm, gnaws at your Kevlar-layered suit, promising slow cellular betrayal. Hours tick by in uneasy exploration, hinting at colonization dreams. Yet oxygen depletion forces a frantic retreat after 10 grueling hours, leaving health eroded by invisible cosmic rays. The gas giants amplify the drama to operatic heights. Jupiter's descent is a free fall into apocalypse. Radiation belts, fiercer than anywhere but the sun, batter your titanium-clad vessel amid a magnetic field 18,000 times Earth's might. Ammonia clouds at -100 degrees Celsius give way to 370 miles per hour vortex winds, hurling you into G-force torment, body failing in mere minutes as pressures mount to 24 bars and 150 degrees Celsius. The same abyss that silenced NASA's Galileo probe in 1995. After 58 defiant minutes, Saturn escalates the whirlwind. Auroras flicker like ghostly warnings before 1,300-mile-per-hour storms and ammonia crystal clouds engulf you, ice encasing your suit at -200 degrees Celsius, pressure deforming defenses until breath fails in 5 agonizing minutes. Moons inject fresh twists of intrigue. Europa's icy crust trembles with geysers, radiation crippling your oxygen in 15 minutes amid -150 degrees desolation. Titan's methane lakes and yellowish haze allow 2.5 hours of ethereal wandering. Low gravity enabling bird-like leaps before hypothermia claims victory. Uranus and Neptune's gaseous maelstroms promise swift ends in 3 to 5 minutes of howling winds and -220 degrees Celsius chills, while Pluto's dwarfed, frozen expanse yields just 8 minutes before brittle suits shatter in eternal night. What elevates this narrative to educational brilliance is its seamless fusion of fact and fiction. Survival estimates quantify horrors, making abstract concepts tangible. Supercritical fluids on Venus, magnetospheres on Jupiter. Real missions anchor the fantasy. Venera, Galileo, Voyager, imparting lessons on exploration's heroism. By gamifying dangers, the piece ignites curiosity, compelling readers to ponder humanity's fragile place in the cosmos, all while delivering a crash course in planetary science that feels like an adrenaline-fueled epic rather than a lecture. Beneath the glittering facade of cosmic adventure lurks a darker underbelly, where the content's bold strokes of imagination clash with the razor-sharp edges of reality, sparking fierce debates that could ignite the minds of skeptics and believers alike. This is no mere stroll through the stars. Dive in, and you'll uncover how this narrative's daring flair courts peril, blending truth with speculation in a way that electrifies yet endangers, forcing us to question, is this enlightenment or exploitation? At the forefront of the storm are the visceral depictions of death, painted with unflinching detail that hits like a meteor strike. Bodies crushed to pulp on Venus, organs irradiated to failure on Mercury, suits imploding in Jupiter's vortex. Each demise unfolds like a horror saga, complete with countdowns to doom. Proponents hail this as a masterstroke, a wake-up call that humanizes the void's brutality, making abstract dangers palpably real and underscoring the heroism of space pioneers. But critics recoil, branding it as gratuitous gore, a spectacle that veers into the macabre, potentially traumatizing younger audiences or desensitizing us to the genuine sacrifices of astronauts. In a world already saturated with violent media, does this amplify education or merely chase thrills, turning planetary science into a blood-soaked blockbuster? The controversy rages, pitting the power of shock value against the ethics of restraint, leaving readers to grapple with whether such drama illuminates or exploits our innate fear of the unknown. Yet the true battleground emerges in the realm of scientific accuracy, where the content's sweeping claims collide with the unyielding laws of physics, chemistry, and biology, like asteroids in a chaotic field. Survival times: 20 minutes on Venus, 15 on Mercury, a scant 3 on Jupiter, dangle like tantalizing bait, but upon closer inspection, they reveal themselves as speculative phantoms, conjured from thin air rather than rigorous models. Real probes like Venera endured minutes, not humans in suits. Extrapolating to 20 minutes ignores the insurmountable engineering hurdles, from thermal runaway in insulators to the corrosive onslaught of supercritical fluids. Oversimplifications abound. Mars's radiation is downplayed as manageable with Kevlar, glossing over DNA-damaging cosmic rays that no suit fully blocks, or the psychological toll of isolation that could shatter minds long before bodies fail. On Titan, the romantic notion of flying like birds with wings ignores the dense haze's visibility hazards and the biohazards of organic tholins, potentially toxic to human explorers. These liberties, while fueling the narrative's pulse, risk misleading the masses. Viewers might walk away believing colonization is a near-term sprint rather than a generational marathon, fostering false hope amid genuine existential threats like climate change back on Earth. Fueling the fire is an undercurrent of bias, particularly in the glowing endorsement of Elon Musk's Mars vision, presented as an unassailable gospel without a whisper of counterpoint. Musk's timelines: boots on Mars by 2029, million-strong cities by 2050, unfold like a triumphant prophecy, complete with starship fleets and 3D-printed igloos. But the narrative sidesteps the thorny realities, ethical quagmires of terraforming a potentially life-bearing world, the astronomical costs dwarfing global economies, or the human rights pitfalls of indentured labor in off-world colonies. This one-sided optimism smacks of promotional zeal, echoing Musk's own hype while ignoring dissenting voices from scientists who decry the feasibility, citing unresolved issues like perchlorate-laden soil poisoning crops, or microgravity's bone-leaching effects. Anthropocentrism reigns supreme, framing space as humanity's manifest destiny without a nod to preserving alien ecosystems. Europa's subsurface ocean might harbor life, yet the content barrels ahead with settlement dreams, risking accusations of colonial hubris. And lurking in the shadows, potential misinformation. Extracting oxygen from Venus's carbon dioxide is theoretically sound, but practically a nightmare amid acid rains and 475 degrees Celsius heats. These controversies don't just simmer, they explode, challenging the content's integrity while paradoxically amplifying its impact. In an era of fake news and pseudoscience, such bold strokes could either inspire critical thinking or sow seeds of doubt, turning eager learners into wary cynics. Yet, amid the chaos, there's a silver lining. By provoking debate, the piece forces us to confront the blurred lines between fact and fiction, urging deeper dives into sources like NASA reports or peer-reviewed journals. It's a double-edged sword, slicing through complacency to reveal the raw, untamed truth of space exploration, one that demands vigilance, lest we fall victim to the very illusions we seek to escape. As the cosmic curtain rises on humanity's boldest gamble, the content hurtles us into a whirlwind of interstellar ambition, where dreams of off-world empires clash with the jagged cliffs of reality in an epic saga that could redefine our species or doom us to eternal regret. This is the grand finale, a thunderous crescendo where speculative survival morphs into a rallying cry for conquest, igniting visions of Martian metropolises and Venusian sky cities that pulse with promise, yet seethe with peril. Here, the narrative doesn't whisper possibilities, it roars them, weaving Elon Musk's audacious blueprints into a tapestry of triumph and tribulation, compelling us to confront the ultimate question: will we soar among the stars or crumble under their indifferent weight? Plunging into the colonization discourse, the piece erupts with unbridled optimism, championing Mars as our redemptive frontier, a beacon against earthly apocalypse. Musk's prophecies thunder forth, boots stamping Martian soil by 2029, sprawling colonies mushrooming by 2050, fueled by starship armadas ferrying hordes across 225 million kilometers in 7-month odysseys. Imagine it, the colossal 122-meter behemoths, propelled by 42 Raptor engines, detaching boosters mid-flight like discarded husks, only to rebirth on Mars with methane forged from ice and CO2. Domes rise like defiant fortresses, 3D-printed igloos spiraling with illusory vastness, hydroponic farms blooming under solar glare. This isn't mere speculation. It's a battle hymn, extolling technology's alchemy to tame dust storms that shred rover tires, perchlorate poisons in the soil, and a whisper-thin atmosphere laced with toxic gases. Gravity's feeble grasp, conquered by exercise regimes. Radiation's relentless assault, deflected by ingenuity. The content paints Musk as a modern Prometheus, stealing fire from the gods to kindle human eternity, inspiring awe at our potential to harvest cosmic resources and evade extinction. Yet this euphoric rush veils a storm of overlooked tempests, where the narrative's fervor borders on recklessness, glossing over the abyss of ethical and practical chasms. Venus emerges as a tantalizing paradox, an infernal cauldron at ground level, yet a paradisical haven 50 kilometers aloft, where pressures mimic Earth's. Temperatures hover at balmy 30 to 50 degrees Celsius, and solar abundance powers floating airships bloated with breathable nitrogen-oxygen mixes. NASA's high-altitude Venus operational concept looms like a daring mirage. 129-meter zeppelins drifting above acid tempests, shielded by mere thin layers, harvesting CO2 for oxygen in a greenhouse gone mad. Titan beckons as an eerie doppelganger of Earth, its methane seas and hydrocarbon dunes ripe for exploitation. Magnetosphere warding off radiation while colonists strut in warm garb and respirators, inflating plastic domes and soaring on makeshift wings in low-gravity ecstasy. Even Mercury's lava tubes whisper secrets of subterranean sanctuaries, immune to solar fury. But beneath this glittering veneer lurks betrayal. The content charges ahead without reckoning the cataclysmic costs. Terraforming's potential to obliterate alien microbes. The psychological inferno of isolation fracturing minds. Or the socioeconomic rift where only elites might flee a ravaged Earth, abandoning billions to fate. The overall impact detonates like a supernova, illuminating the content's dual-edged blade, a catalyst for wonder that could propel generations toward the stars. Yet a siren song, risking disillusionment if hype outpaces hard truth. By extending from planetary peril to pioneering promise, it forges an unbreakable chain, reminding us that survival tales aren't endpoints. They're preludes to destiny. Strengths amplify. Educational hooks embed facts deep. Narrative thrills democratize science. And inspirational sparks fuel debates on our multi-planetary imperative. Controversies, though searing, sharpen the discourse, exposing biases and inaccuracies that demand scrutiny, transforming passive readers into active skeptics who probe beyond the page. In an age of climate cataclysm and existential dread, this piece doesn't just inform, it galvanizes, urging humanity to leap from complacency into the void. Will we heed the call, building bridges to the cosmos, or falter, trapped in terrestrial chains? The content leaves us on the precipice, hearts racing, minds ablaze, forever altered by its audacious vision of what lies beyond.